3, 2, 1. Mr. Frank.
How's it going, Gill? Thank you for having me, man.
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm loving the weather. I drive a high SUV, like with a oversized tires, so splashing through all this water, man, it was no problem.
So is it Frank? How long have we been booked this for? Like how long do we book this for? For like maybe about a week, 2 weeks, right?
Yes, 2-3 weeks.
So this whole time I thought your last name was Blanquillos.
Oh, no, that's just my IG handle. And
Okay.
in southern Mexico, it means eggs. Translates
Okay.
to eggs.
Yeah, Amber said, "Oh no, the Blanquillos are eggs." Like,
Yes.
is that his last name for real? I'm like,
So
I
it
don't know.
translates to Frank Eggs.
Frank's
Yeah.
eggs. Yes, so, blanquillos, cojones. I used to, that's part of my MO, just talking trash, sarcasm to, squared cube.
Yeah.
But my name is this is not my birth name either, Frank Blanco. My whole name, man, is insane. If you're from Mexican or Central American, you have like 4 names,
You have a novela name?
Pretty much. Jose Francisco Garcia Blanco.
Dang.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate it.
Oh, that's your full name?
That used to be my name.
Oh, okay.
And I disowned half of my family,
Uh-huh.
the Garcia side. So I went to court and I got rid of the Garcia side and the Jose. And since most of my friends called me Frank or Frankie since I was a kid,
Okay.
I kept Frank, Frank Blanco. So nice and easy,
There we go.
Mexican kids have it kind of hard when they have a bunch of names because when you start trying to learn to write your name, you got to write like 4 names.
Insane, man. And in my family, we all go by middle names. So even like my brother, his middle name's Chris. When we call him Chris around his in-laws, nobody knows who we're talking to. Like, who's Chris?
Like, who's that?
Yeah, so that was another thing with my family. Like, people would call my house from work, school, anything, and nobody had any idea who they're calling Jose.
Yeah.
So it was useless. No, so I just got rid of it.
I didn't know how to spell my last name probably up until like 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah. I'm serious.
I mean, it's kind of...
It's complicated.
It is a little complicated.
Yeah. It's Anguiano.
Oh man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a friend with that name.
Oh, do you really?
Yes.
Yeah, there's not many of us out there. At least I don't think so.
No, there's not, man. And the UI, I'm sure you got everybody right. Anguiano,
Mm-hmm.
GUI.
Yeah,
A-N-O.
A-N-O. Right.
That's a tough one. That's a hardcore Spanish last name,
Is it? No, it is because it's like a town or something in Spain.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the first time that I seen that like on somebody or somebody's last name, we were when it got hot in the summer in Pomona.
Yes.
We didn't have a pool, so we would rent a hotel, like at Motel 6, somewhere on like Holt Avenue.
Yes.
And we would invite like our whole family
That's cool, man.
to go into the pool. So we'd go into the pool and we all hang out, have a pool party on Motel 6's expense. And there was this like really cholo gangster looking guy.
Yes.
And he had a Old English tattooed on his back, Anguiano, all
No way.
huge. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, you're scary. I'm not gonna say hi to you. No, I was like, hey, that's an interesting last name. I was like, that's my last name. And we try to say like, oh, like who's your grandpa? Like who's your cousin? But we end up didn't have any.
Make sure you're not related.
Yeah, we weren't related. It was weird.
Man. In the inner city, we had the luxury of having public pools. So
Mm-hmm.
we had a rec room, the boys club. They had a pool, and a few parks in the area had a pool. So you got to do the experience with the pin. Putting your clothes in a bag. They give you a pin to get to retrieve your bag in your clothes bag.
Oh, okay.
It was cool. We got to do that whole experience as kids, man. In the inner city, at least, Los Angeles, East LA.
Dang.
So that was a cool thing about that. I mean, those are little perks or blessings that we, as a kid, you think like, oh man, that sucks. We don't have a pool.
Yeah.
But not too many people get to experience that stuff,
Yeah, community pool.
Community pool.
The only community pool that I remember is like Whittier, and in Whittier there's a school called it It was like a continuation school, but
Yes.
it was a huge like facility, and they had a pool there. And I think I remember it was like maybe like a nickel or 10 cents. It was something dumb
Yes.
like that to
A
get in.
quarter.
Yeah.
And I think that's just their way of getting their pin back, or
Yeah.
making sure you don't lose your bag, you know. Get your
Yeah.
quarter back.
But I remember those days. He was just hanging out at the
Pretty
pool
cool.
during the summer. But yeah, where did you grow up again?
I'm a East LA guy, man.
East LA.
East LA, and
I was born in East LA.
and I say that the same way, man.
Yeah?
Anywhere I go, even though I got to live the double immigrant life, you know.
Okay.
Like I like hearing people's immigrant stories, you know. Everybody has them, which is super cool because everybody's unique, you know. But I was born in LA, and then my mother divorced my father at 5, and she moved us back to southern Mexico with some other dude, you know, to a ranch.
Dang.
She took the hustle, man. She took the living the easy life, you know.
Uh-huh.
She did not know that easy life means if you want milk, you gotta milk the cow. If you want cheese, you make cheese out of that milk, you know. And that's so we moved to Mexico, Sinaloa, southern Sinaloa.
Oh, nice.
And I lived over there without speaking Spanish, you know. So
Whoa.
you know it was a town favorite, right? all I remember from those times is chingues al pocho.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Chicas and
That
pocho.
means
Yeah.
like fuck up the pocho.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck up the pocho?
Yeah, the American guy, you know.
Oh, my gosh.
And that would be me. So for a chunky kid, man, I got really fast.
You learned Spanish pretty fast
I
because of
learned
that.
Spanish pretty fast, and I had to outrun a lot of kids, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Damn, dude, what was that like being... So how long were you in East LA before you went to Mexico?
To the age of 5.
To the age of 5?
So right at the beginning of kindergarten, like I'm gonna, you know, we just moved down south with everything, you know.
How long were you in
Dang.
Sinaloa for?
5 years.
Oh, 5
So
Wow.
so I remember celebrating my 10th birthday in
Yeah.
East LA again. But so I'm back in East LA, and I can't speak English now. so now I'm running cholos because I'm like, dude, I'm from right here, man. And they're like, chingues el paisa. Oh man, what a dude! Those are awesome life events, you know that.
Yeah.
As a kid, like what the hell, man, right? And as an adult, like you're glad those things happen because they teach you stuff, you know.
Yeah.
What part of Sinaloa did you grow up?
It's south of Rosario.
Oh, okay.
It was a little ranch town called Chametla. That's a hardcore Spanish word too.
Chametla.
My dad's from Guamuchil. So we're a ranch from
Guamuchil.
Guamuchil. So 2 hours into, so I know ranch life too,
Yeah.
milking the cow and getting the eggs. And
That's pretty cool. You know, my neighbor grew a guamuchil tree,
oh, nice.
and he's German.
Oh, really?
Really?
I
How does that happen?
have no. Well, actually, his wife's Mexican. You know, so maybe she had a lot to do with that. But I've known so many people that buy those trees, and they either can't get them to grow or give out fruit. You know, that little cotton-like fruit.
Wait, hold on. So what kind of
I'm
what kind of tree is it?
It's one of these.
Yeah, it gives out like a fruit that looks, when it bursts, looks like cotton. You know, but you
That
eat it, and it has like a
looks-
dry flavor. See that?
Okay.
So it's a guamuchil tree.
That looks
Guamuchil.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a cotton type of thing that it
Yes,
it
it's like-
harvests?
It's like
But you eat it. It's a
yes, it's spongy. You know, spongy, and you eat it, and it's like
Oh, you eat it.
yes,
See right here.
without the seed, but it has like a dry flavor. It's pretty good.
What do you eat with it? Just eat it like
Just
that?
eat it like
Just
that.
like a fruit.
It's a
like if
fruit.
you're-
Yeah.
Like you're eating grapes or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And that only grows in like that area? Or...
Well, there's insane amount of those trees in Guamuchil. I remember driving through there.
Mhm.
But every time, at least growing up in East LA, when people would buy those trees or bring them over, they could never even either get them to grow or give out fruit. And my neighbor, I didn't know he had a guamuchil tree until they gave out those fruit. And like,
Yeah.
are you serious, bro? That guy, he has a good, you know, he's really into like fruit trees. He has a bunch of fruit trees. We're always freeloading off of them, you know. He grows them right on our wall, man. So, you know.
Either anything you got to remember anything over the wall. Anything that falls on the ground, it's fair game, right?
Dude, mangoes, guava, lemons. I mean, I'm freeloading off of everything right there, man.
You know, Amber does that all the time. Like there's a tree right here.
Yes.
And she gets off on the passenger side, and she's like always questioning, like, what kind of tree is that? Like, or we'll be driving down the road, and she'll be like, oh look, there's this kind of tree. We should stop and go pick some stuff. Or there's also a lemon tree. I don't know. She has an inventory of all the trees in this
Hey,
neighborhood.
it's free produce.
Right.
When you go on your walks, right?
Yeah, there we go. See?
Take a plastic bag. I'm deep down a señora. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a senora stuck in a woman's body.
Always planning forward. You know, that's what the señors are, you know.
Yeah.
The señoras. Always planning forward with fruit and food and packing burritos in the purse.
Oh, there we go.
Isn't that me? Go
Yeah, that's you read her bio right now.
Hey, but you're never hungry. So.
I'm not. It's like one day we'll just be talking. I'm like, oh man, I'm hungry, and she pulls out a burrito out of nowhere.
It's a true story, though.
It is. It really is. Especially those tortillas de mano.
Yeah,
Right?
the tortillas de harina.
Hechas a
Harina,
mano.
yeah.
Yeah, so I go to Sinaloa maybe once a year, and then I have an aunt that makes me 5 dozen tortillas de harina, and I carry back with them in the airplane. So that's why
She smuggles tortillas.
those are the
from
burritos he
Mexico.
gets when I come back, because I make like the papa con chorizo, and then I make them, and then I store them in my purse for later.
Yeah.
Seems like they stay a lot more moist when they're homemade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Totally different flavor.
And when they're in a purse, dude, they keep temperature. They keep the flavor. Something about tortilla purses. But so, how long have you been doing stand-up?
Since 2019.
Okay,
I mean, I had a little break. You know, we all had a break of everything.
we did.
2020.
Yeah.
Got a year break. But I started in 2019, and it's one of those. I decided, like you know, when as a youth, I made a deal with myself. I'm gonna give stand-up comedy a shot. You know, I'm gonna do it. Then I hit my 40s, bro, and then I was like, wait a minute, time's flying on me, bro. And so that's why I just decided to jump in, man. And I'm thankful. Like my friend Chinook, he did the No Father No Problem podcast with me. He's just like me, where he's in Spanish aventado, you know, where I told him the idea, and he's like, let's do it, man, you know. So it's really cool, man. I'm glad he always either backed me up or nudged me forward, like, come on, man, you know, keep doing that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
really cool.
that's good. You need a support system like that, definitely. Especially doing something that's like very vulnerable, you
Yes.
know? Yeah, it's not easy.
It's one of those where they tell you to do something that scares you the most and excites you the most. And for me, that's it, man.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of dumb stuff, like small cliff diving in the rocks, you know, hiking in the snow and jumping in the water up there, you know, like
Yeah.
a lot of dumb stuff. But this, by far, man, is like the most exciting thing ever, man. Like just when you're on stage, it's amazing feeling, man.
Have you ever have you always wrote jokes, or is it just something that you thought about stand up, like, okay, I'm gonna start writing. I'm gonna start practicing it.
No, I've always been the clown, you know, the class clown in school. The one reason my friend Chinook and I started doing the podcast, because, you know, we would go to a barbecue and he and I would just start bullshitting with everybody,
Yeah.
thrashing everybody, and it just turned into hours and endless hours, you know. Some people tell us, bro, you guys should record all this shenanigans you guys say, you know. And so that's one of the places that came out of, the podcast.
Mhm.
And then, but so I've always been the clown guy. So once I decided to do stand-up comedy, like 2018, I just started writing. You know, writing's cool. I love writing, you know. The trick is putting your context on paper into a joke, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You could start from a page and it end up being one liner, you know.
One good one line.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But you still gotta put it on paper, because if not, you lose the idea.
Right.
I could never remember anything like word for word. So I started writing, and by like June of 2019, I told my partner Chinook, like, man, I'm ready for some open mics. And he's like, are you serious? Let's go do some open mics, man. And, you know, I moved to the night shift at work. I'm a UPS guy.
Yeah.
I moved to the night shift to drive those big rigs overnight.
Oh, wow.
Just to open up my day to do more stuff like with my kids, because I have two little ones, like 11 and 13, and stand-up comedy. Because as a daytime driver, you know, I was a Hollywood UPS guy. You know, Hollywood traffic, man.
Yeah.
Leave my house 6 a.m, get back home at 10, 11 at night.
Right.
You do not have time for anything, you know. Maybe some gym time in the morning, which is cool for me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm an ex-jock, man, so anything with sports. But so once I started doing open mics, man, another thing I thank Chinook for, you know, a lot of times once you get, I don't know about you, you get addicted to doing something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sleep for days, man, you know, an hour here and there. So then I would stop by my friend Chinook, like, hey, man, can you drive for me, man? Because I got to jump into traffic on Friday, you know.
Dang.
So he would drive for me because, you know, I had not slept for like days, you know. So it's pretty cool, man. And just started open mics. And my first open mic, man, jokes worked, you know. It was super cool.
Really?
And I did about 2-3 minutes, man.
Okay.
Seemed like half an hour. Like an eternity, but the jokes worked. Some of them maybe were a little too raunchy for the kids in the crowd, you know. And kids still get me, man. Like when there's kids in the crowd, man, they still like. I feel like I have to change all my vocabulary just for them, you know.
So what kind of place was it? Your first open mic?
It was.
It's like a Chuck E. Cheese.
No.
Imagine.
It's like it's a boutique in Wilmington.
They had kids there.
They had kids. Because,
wait, a boutique. What is that?
Like a ladies' clothing store.
I'm thinking burlesque. Never mind.
And they had like a community open mic for poetry, comedy.
Oh, okay, something like what we do.
They had like a little bit of wine on the side. It was really neat.
Okay.
But we drove all the way from over here to Wilmington on a Friday afternoon, you know, so in traffic. So
yeah.
I'm glad Shug drove for me. And the jokes pretty much worked, man. They just as usual, like even I do this now. When I get so excited to be up there, it's like I tell my friends, it's like when you have sex as a teenager, you're so excited, you finish fast, bro.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What the hell happened? I don't know." And I use my recordings like to gauge like what the hell, where did I pick up the pace, you know?
Oh, okay.
Because I start off, you know, you get laughs.
Yeah.
And it's like
it pumps you, dude.
It pumps you up and they're cheering you on. And I just start talking faster and faster, and I end up butchering stuff at the end, you know.
By going
too fast.
Yeah.
I mean, my people get the jokes, but they're like, bro, you didn't let us a chance to absorb it, you know. You set the joke, we're laughing, and then you start on your next joke, and we're still laughing at the old joke, and you know, so that's the timing part about it, you know.
Gotcha. So did you have a certain time that you were going up for, like 5 minutes, or
5 minutes was the standard when I started, you know.
Okay.
And then
I'm sorry. So you wrote for 5 minutes and you ended up doing it in 3 minutes?
Ended up doing it in 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then so they worked, and I just kept doing more open mics. And you know, open mics, man, anybody that wants to do comedy, just do it and do not worry about open mics, who's laughing and who's not. Because most open mics, like the comedian ones, mostly it's all comics there, you know?
Yeah.
So
I've noticed that.
Main thing you're worrying about is your pacing, your delivery, because you'll get like golf claps, you know, a little chuckle here and there. But the most important thing is your spacing, and you know, make sure I always worry about I write bits, like say 3-minute bits, 2-minute bits. My segue joke or my segue statement from one to the other. I worry more about that than anything else, and of course my pace. So I've seen a lot of comics get really upset when they go up there and they do their set.
Yeah,
they walk off and like F everybody.
Oh, because they didn't get any laughs.
Yeah, but I'm like we know this already. Like, I mean, before it used to like really it bugged me.
Yeah,
but because silence, like I started like again another thing, silence or way too many like laughs and cheers. I go faster.
Oh.
So dead silence for me, it's something, but I need to use it though because it's pacing. It's all pacing.
Yeah.
You know? The jokes is all delivery and pacing. You know.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of something like right before you're gonna go up on stage and just set it, and you did your setup and the joke, and it worked and it killed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I did I've done a few times where like, I notice something when I'm walking in, and then I'll say a joke about that with myself included in it.
Yeah.
And it sets up your whole bit, man. It's really cool, man.
Yeah.
But I've had the other side of that that coin where I think I'm gonna say something funny, just making it up on the fly, and I get dead silence. Like it seems like I insulted people, you know.
Really?
Oh man, it's just awful. And they're like, okay, let's keep it going.
It's a hit and miss, dude. Like I've done that a few times where, well, I've done it once and it like completely like killed, and I haven't said it again at the open mic. No, but and then there's like after that, like I got laughs. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm good. And the next couple times that I would open up the show,
Yes.
dead silence.
Oh, man.
Not with the same joke, but with like, I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna try to incorporate this,
Yes.
off the cuff type style. But yeah,
I did a show next to Peppo's on 3rd Street. I think Peppo is closed. It looks closed. And there's a place called, I think it's Rudy's. And I was like way overdressed. I had like a dress jacket with a collar shirt. And I walked in there like, oh man, I'm overdressed. So I used the Pep Boys. I said, oh, how's it going? I used to be the assistant manager at Pep Boys next door, So everybody got laughed at that. And before that, I was at Tower Records, and everybody laughed about that. And I went on with my set, but I took the pressure off of being overdressed too, And then so that worked. I was trying to roast a friend for his 50th birthday, and I showed up in a suit, and I was the only guy wearing a suit. And same thing. I felt like, oh man, I feel like a jackass overdressed here, right? And then so I go, I gotta make a joke about this, I gotta make a joke about this. And I said, oh my god, the joke failed miserably, man. I said something like, I started making fun of my family. I apologize for wearing a suit, but in my family, we don't make it to 50, something like that. There was a lot of seniors there, and to me, it seemed like I insulted them. They were all looking at me like I kicked them in the gut or something. I'm like, oh shoot, like I felt awful, man. I'm like, okay, let's keep it going now. So yeah, so I don't know. It was brutal, but those are the learning things that come with it.
Yeah, I think just coming up with like comedic relief
Yes.
about yourself. I think that's something that I always did growing up.
Yes.
Like just to keep the focus not on me, but on something about me. Like if something was very embarrassing about myself, I would make the joke about it so that way nobody else could
make fun of you.
Make fun of me.
Take away their ammunition.
Exactly. And that's what I did.
And I think that's why you get good at jokes too. Like, because growing up, all it is people making fun of each other.
Yeah. And
when you're with a bunch and you take away all their ammunition, you own them after that.
Yeah. Like what else are they going to talk about?
I use jokes about myself to thrash people. Like if I will make fun of a group, first I'll make fun of myself and on the same subject, and then I flip and I start making fun of them. So I don't feel guilty, and two, I guess I feel like they're not as angry at me if I hit them the wrong way, like if I rub them the wrong way,
Yeah.
So I use that in the same manner,
So did you like learn all these like little things about comedy just like by practicing, or did you like read books, watch videos, documentaries?
Practicing, but I've been blessed that every comedian that I come across, well, I know Alfred Robles, and anytime I'm thankful because anytime I had any questions about the craft, the business, anything about it, he was always there.
Oh, that's cool.
Whether I text him or I run into him, ask him questions, and he always had answers for me. And then after he Carlos Loma, another guy, I did right when I started, a few shows with him. He had the Carlos Loma Chronicles for a while. Same thing. Any question I would have, or two, when I would get off on stage, he would tell me, okay, work on this part of it. Because forget about everything else. Just fix this part first, So little tricks of the trade like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And then after the those guys, I worked with both of them a lot before the pandemic mess.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the pandemic, there was hardly any work. Everybody starting in like restaurants and stuff. So I started working with this guy, Carlos Oso Robledo. They call him Oso. He passed away. He lost the war to mental health. Issues.
Yeah.
But he I'm blessed because I started doing shows with him, and he would go to my smaller shows and critique me too.
Oh wow.
Like the main thing he used to always get on my case for, because he would tell me, man, you're two different people when you have a big crowd and no crowd. He's like, you should bring the same energy to both, because I mean, I didn't notice, but since he would go to a lot of my shows, or I would be in his shows, he noticed that. So that's something I always gotta try to remember, that full energy, whether it's 5 people, whether it's 50 people, or or more,
1,000, 10,000 people.
Yes. So again, blessed that all the comics I've been around, any questions I ask, they answer. I mean, I'm very thankful for that. But Alfred, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Alfred Robles, man. Not only tricks. There's a lot of restaurants. I don't know if you've done restaurant shows, like where you're eye level with people.
Okay.
When people stare at you in the eyes, bro, it bothers me. Like, I could feel them staring at me. So he told me some tricks about how to handle that part. Or when people making like dirty faces, because you could see them. Yeah, there's always comedian fans doing stuff up there, or doing the the crisscross with the skirts, and like you're right there, and
it's distracting.
It really is. And they always tell me, you gotta engage them and make fun of them, because if not, it's gonna bug you for your whole set. So those are the little things that I always ask them, and those pretty much guided me through a lot of stuff. So I'm very thankful for them.
Damn, dude. So a lot of real world experience going on right there. Dang, I'm a nerd then, because I read I read a lot. I'm a reader. I do study. That's the thing about me. I like to do a lot of writing about a subject, or whether it's comedy or whether it's psychedelics or whatever I'm into at the time. I read a lot and I ingest it, and then from there it's just sitting in my brain, and then I practice it.
Yes.
And then I write. So now I think I'm in the next stage where I just have to go up and do it. And I think that's the cool thing about the open mics, because in between introducing the next poet on, or comedian on, or whatever.
Yes.
I that's where I practice the small little bits that I have.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
If you can just pull up comedy out of your mind like that, man, you're a step ahead of a lot of people, because I have to write it, set it up, practice it, and then go up there and do the material. And I write breaks into my comedy for whenever I have to engage people, or I write in the breaks where in the past people have said something, when I do Raider jokes, for sure, and then because I know something's gonna happen right there, so I'll write a break so I can remember where to jump back in, And but if you could already bring the comedy out of your memory banks, man, that's really good, man. That's really step ahead of the game, man, right there.
Yeah, I remember the last time. When was it, Amber? Do you remember? Was it in November? It was months ago, but it really that was the turning moment where I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start writing comedy, because I've always thought about it for years, but I just never did it.
Yes.
And I think now I'm in a point where it's like, I gotta do it. That's it. I just gotta do it. Even with the podcast, when I was thinking about doing a podcast, I just gotta do it. Just do it, right?
Just gotta jump in, man. And that's one message I'd like to share with everybody. I started towards my mid 40s, and it's never too late. Your word means a lot, especially when you keep it to yourself. If you tell yourself, this is something you gotta do, You have to even just trying. It really takes away a lot of the pressure you put on yourself. We're all our own worst critics.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very important, man. So it's never too late, man. So anybody, it would. Do it with caution, of course, because I heard, I hear a lot about the Steve Harvey experience. Like he went all in onto comedy, and he was homeless for 3 years after that.
Dang.
So he really went all in. So everybody go with caution. I started doing the comedy thing, but I set myself up like financially and everything, where I got to a comfort zone. And to me, comfort is not good for you. Like I think once you're comfortable, you start letting your health go. You start being negligent towards a lot of things, but if you keep challenging yourself, man, you stay sharp.
I think that's the thing about comedy or doing anything on stage in front of people. It keeps you balanced and it keeps you at that level of uncomfortability.
Yes.
Because I don't know about you, but I get nervous all the time. Like I hear that nervousness never goes away. I mean, to some people, they can say that, I don't get nervous. I just go there and do whatever, whether it play guitar, doing comedy, being in a band. But I mean, I've heard from, different artists and then different people that sometimes that nervousness never goes away.
That's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
It's such a adrenaline rush.
It does. It fuels you.
Such an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
We had Martin Moreno on our podcast, and he went through the party phase of stand-up comedy. He said that he tried a lot of different drugs, and he said from everything he's tried, nothing ever gives him the high of a stage and a mic. So that tells you, man, just a mic and a stage and people, man, such a crazy feeling,
Yeah, it's something about it, dude. Something about it that just after a show, after the shows that we're doing at the cafe.
Yes.
It's I just feel this release and this relief. Even dude, even after this podcast, dude. I know last night I talked about I cry every night after this podcast, but I'm pumped. I can't even go to sleep sometimes. It takes me hours just to everything's uploaded, everything's good to go on Spotify, YouTube, everything's done, completed. And I'm still laying in bed fuck, when is the next one? When is last night? When is Frank gonna get here? I've been counting down the minutes and the hours.
What a high, man.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of little bar shows, and then I go to work. I work nights.
Mm-hmm.
And those nights after a show, I do not need any coffee or anything, man. All night, like you said, just pumped, laser focused. It's an insane feeling, man. Just good or bad, it's such a feeling, man. I can't even describe it,
Yeah. So even with the age thing, dude, didn't Rodney Dangerfield, didn't he start in his 50s or something like that? Can we search that?
That's why he's one of my heroes, man, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, he was just freaking amazing with his one-liners. That's what I like doing. I like going on YouTube, and they have this video. It's I don't know how long it is, but it's 100 greatest one-liners from from Rodney, and it's every single one.
That's cool. Yeah, he Paul Rodriguez, the first comedian I ever saw do comedy. Eddie Murphy, Raw second. And Rodney Dangerfield's third, and since he started old, man, I kind of relate to him.
Right. So when did Rodney Dangerfield start comedy?
Yeah, I put it on there, but
no.
He gave it a shot when he was young, and he didn't do great. So then he got married, had kids, and then
that's what it was.
And then
right?
towards his late 40s, once his kids grew up, I think he had 2 daughters. Then he went on, more again, and this one he caught on, and he took off.
So he started before he got married and had kids?
Yeah, he did it at 20 years old or something. But, he didn't pick up steam or anything. And then he just got married and had kids,
Most of his great material is about his kids and his wife. Right?
Yes. And, hey, man, your kids check you, bro. I have an 11-year-old daughter, man, and oh my god, one day I'm her hero, the next day, man, I'm dirt.
There we go. Dang. Do they ever hear you do your stand up?
Yes, when I do those family shows,
Yeah.
I take them along. And,
Oh, that's cool.
and it's cool when they recite back those little liners, one-liners. You know,
Yeah.
is neat, man. It gives me a good kick. You know, like I love it. You know, I love it because again, the next day I know I'm probably gonna be the dirtbag for punishing them. You know, for not putting their stuff away or something. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, see right here. Rodney Dangerfield started performing stand-up comedy in his teens as Jack Roy, but finding that comedy didn't pay the bills, he spent the 1950s working as a salesman. Re-entering the show business in the early 1960s, Rodney Dangerfield, he got a little more respect. He opened Dangerfield Comedy Club in 1970 and starred in a series of hit comedy films.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, him.
And he was born in 1921. So 1960, he was what, 40?
40.
40. Yeah.
Dang.
Pretty cool.
Who else? Who else inspires you?
Well, Paul Rodriguez, first guy I saw, and it's not even a lot of people tell me like, is it the race thing or that's the first guy I saw?
Oh, okay.
Do
Yeah.
stand up comedy, you know, and then Eddie Murphy, a second guy I saw doing stand up comedy, which I thought was amazing, except for the leather gear, you know.
Yeah.
But
I don't think they make leather in my size. Or else I would.
our size, bro. I sweat a lot, man. So I can't even imagine wearing leather like that, bro. Oh my god.
Wait, who wore leather?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
A lot of his
Yeah.
like
the jacket.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
even now a lot of comedians that do wear leather pants.
That's
you know,
crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah. What special is he wearing? The red one? Is it starts with the D? Leather jacket.
This right here, no?
Yeah.
It's not
That's
raw.
like the Michael Jackson.
Raw? Is it? What the heck was I thinking? Oh, Delirious. There
Hilarious.
Delirious.
we go.
Wait,
Yeah.
oh man, look at that.
Dang, he's like covered in it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro. But as far as comedy, I like Chris Rock Mencia. I like the ranting kind of comedy.
Have you watched Chris Rock's new special?
The latest one, no. I've seen bits about it, like when he talks about Will Smith and all that.
Besides those ones, it was a good special. Yeah, but I think just because what's going on now with him and Will Smith, it's just that everybody likes to pick apart those bits. But other than those, like it was a good special.
Yes, so he and like a lot of people when I say Carlos Mencia, oh, he steals jokes, whatever. Like if he did, I'm not gonna do research on that. But
Yeah.
the way he delivers comedy, man, it's not like too many people, man. You know, the ranting type, like talk trash kind of comedy, man. I used to like that a lot, man. And then of course, Robin Williams, because he's all tweaky, twitchy.
Yeah.
I like that, and also Robin Williams is like my guardian angel, And in 2020, I had weight loss surgery, and I had they staple your stomach. Like,
Oh wow. Okay.
They eliminate a big portion of gastric bypass.
Oh, it's like 80% of your stomach.
Something, yeah, and they staple it, so some of the staples came off and it
Whoa.
started leaking.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up in the hospital, man, for like a little over 2 weeks, and then but when I was in the ER for 3 days. Like on the third night, bro, I just got tired because I was covered in bags of ice because I had a crazy fever.
Whoa.
And then I threw the towel, man. I said, you know what? I'm done, man. And then right there, my guardian angel woke me up, like, get up, And it was fucking Robin Williams,
Whoa.
It's crazy, I know. Everybody was he wearing the nose? I'm like, fuck it. I said Robin Williams, fuckers, not Patch Adams, So
It was Miss Doubtfire shaking.
imagine Miss Doubtfire.
Hello.
Or worse, Medea, My wife watches a lot of Medea stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, so I was done, man. I was just tired and dude like grabbed me. I don't know how to describe it, but you take a breath and you're so comfortable you feel like you're falling through the bed,
Yeah.
And then dude just grabbed me and pulled me back, and got in my face and told me like you got more purpose than you know.
Damn.
And keep fighting till you see the daylight, and shock the shit out of me, And then so I stayed awake till daytime, and then once daytime hit, they started taking away all these hoses and plugs.
Yeah.
And the doctor came over and told me, congratulations, you're gonna live.
Damn,
I'm like,
dude.
man, it's really cool. So I always liked him because he was so twitchy. I feel like I'm like that. And then, but now more because I always tell everybody, he's my guardian angel, man. He pulled me back, And so another thing I wanted to do with be on your podcast is share that message, because you always feel like when you're close to death, like, why me? Why did I make it and other people don't make it through other stuff? So I feel like I have to share that message, because like, especially like my comedy friend, also Robledo, Carlos, he didn't make it through that fight with mental health, and so I need to keep sharing that message about like, everybody, you have way more purpose than no matter how crappy shit looks, you got way more stuff to do than you think,
Yeah.
Your story has to be told, and it can only be told by you, So, I always wanted to share that, man, and so another reason for me to, I love Robin Williams, for this comedy, and for whatever reason, I think whenever I'm not spiritual and stuff like that, right? But whenever you need to see something, it always has to be something that relates to you to grab your attention. And I think maybe the reason my guardian angel had his face is to grab my attention, So at least that's what I think, because other than that, it doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing, like, when he passed away, that shook the hell out of me,
Absolutely.
because I don't know if you growing up, when you grow up in a rough part of town, there's no such thing as mental health. There's no such thing as feelings. There's no such thing as. There's so many things that, like, gosh, man, get out of here, cállate,
Yeah.
So growing up, all that stuff, I thought it was bullshit. The people with feelings, so many things, man. Like, it's machismo,
Depression, anxiety,
all that. Is like, to me, it's like goofy machismo. Like, hide your feelings and act tough and whatever. People, your friends die, and you just, you say, all right, see you when I see you, bro. See you on the other side later.
Yeah.
And and now that you're older, like man, like, you start seeing, like, you start going backwards, living your life backwards, like man, there's so many stuff, like, where I felt a certain way, and I just said, like, I played the part, like whatever, let's keep it moving, So for that reason, like, this is the message has, I just try to share as much as I can, especially with comedians, open mics, small shows, and the bigger shows I've done. Like, there's a lot of comedians, man. They got some edgy stuff, like, I think that's what the comedians, they turn pain and trauma into comedy,
Yeah.
or
I got a lot of that.
and a lot of your life lessons, or when life kicked the shit out of you, we turn that into comedy, and it's a good way to what do they call it? Free free therapy.
Yeah.
But I share that message with as many people as I can, because you never know who's going through those slopes,
Yeah.
the ups and downs of being really up, and then who knows what happens when they're by themselves, right? Like, they hit those slopes of depression or anxiety or whatever it is, and crazy, man. So that's why Robin Williams is one of my guys, man, forever, man. Can stand on comedy, and he pulled me back, bro.
Dude, that's a random by Robin Williams.
Yes,
That's random.
That's the only thing I could think of, man. What's the link? I always think, why him?
Yeah. But no, that's true. It was common for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then plus, it was somebody you looked up to, like, in the art form.
Yes, and then and again, he lost the battle to depression, anxiety. That was shocking, and again, at that time, I was like, "Come on, really?" Like, I still didn't really buy into that.
You didn't grasp the concept of it.
I didn't grasp it, or I didn't want to give into it. Like, again, that machismo face.
Yeah.
You put in that machismo front,
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think of a comedian, especially like him, like, when he portrays things on movies or things, he's happy. He makes other people happy. So you always think that comedians, their entire life and their entire identity is happy and funny and everything.
Right.
But it's
Yes,
not. Like, I never thought of it, like you said, they comedians turn trauma and life experiences into comedy. I never really thought that they turn dark into light, for other people. Wow, that's nice.
And it's a way to share, I guess, to share your story too, and just to I don't know. I mean, at least that's what I gained from it, is just sharing your story, sharing your own trauma, but also at the same time you're making somebody laugh.
Somebody laugh, which is nothing more addicting than that,
Exactly. I know, like when I write something and then I share it with Amber's she's my what is it, like bouncing board?
Yes.
My little test dummy. And some like I would like tell her something and then she'd be like, go back to the drawing board. But some of them are like have been hitting really good. I'm excited for the show. I'm gonna try to practice what's today? Tuesday? I want to try to practice this week somewhere.
Got a week. Hey, have you ever ran jokes by her or somebody else and they tell you, nah, go back to the drawing board, but in your head, like, I know it's a good joke, damn it,
Yeah, all the time.
Oh yeah. And then she says, she's like, you know what? Change something. And I'm like, nah, it's funny. It's funny. You just don't get it. You don't get it. Or she teaches which is really cool too, is I will learn something new. Like yes. I will learn something new about history,
yes,
or a person in history, and I'm like instantly like I'll have a premise for something,
yes,
and somebody that you learn about, like I have this premise for a joke, and Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. So just that looking at Diego Rivera, just
yes.
Can you picture him in your mind?
I can picture him.
So I have this concept for him. I won't give too much because I'm still working on it. But like once I seen him, I'm like, there's a joke. There's a joke somewhere with Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. There cool. has to be.
That's cool. I have a Kardashian jokes, and that's how I started. Like why are they so hungry for our attention? And it started from that. Like damn, these people are always like just seem like they need our attention, like the public's attention, and from there that's where I got to start some jokes about them.
Yeah.
So do you think like because I know like for Gill, like anything that we do throughout the day, there's something comedic or something that he can take from, right?
Yes.
Are you the same? Are you like throughout your entire day it's like comedy on, comedy off? Like
I do, and it's mostly the things that tick me off that inspire comedy. Like frustrating things. And my wife is my test dummy for jokes.
There we go.
And a lot of my jokes are about my wife. So imagine that,
Yeah.
And so if I can get her to laugh, I know it's good. If she doesn't make me dinner, I know I messed up,
You know it's really good.
But so that's how I test them, especially when I started.
Yeah.
I would do wife jokes, in-law jokes, jokes about me, people in relation to me, like high school football and stuff like that. But when I would do like in-law jokes, if I could get her to laugh at them, I go, it's gotta be good because I'm thrashing her parents,
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of gauge them, If she laughs, cool. If she's mad at me, then I gotta put it away, Just tuck it in.
What does she think about you doing comedy? Because I know, like for Gil, like I'm nervous, and I'm not gonna be the one up there, and I feel like nervous for him. And even I know that he'd do great, but is your wife like that too? Like, does she go to see you in shows and things like that, or no?
Yes, I take her to shows and on the weekends because we have the little ones. Well, they're almost teen. One's a teen, one's a preteen. But I take her to shows, especially on the weekends, and she never tells me about being nervous. I think she's scared that I might add to the wife jokes,
Oh yeah.
Because one thing I used to get in trouble with the podcast you have guys and you're bullshitting.
Yeah.
And you start doing mini wife jokes, and before you know
There
it,
we go.
you say too much, and you don't know it until you put it out, and then you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I said that, and I get home and oh my god, like I could feel the stare, but it was nothing deliberate now, but you just I don't know, you get I don't know, you pick up steam sort of well, and you go too far,
Yeah, it just comes out.
and so she's always afraid of that I might add on to the jokes.
Oh, okay.
Like I might add on and say something raunchy or go too far,
Gotcha.
So I think she's nervous in that side, in those terms, But I think my stand up comedy adventure, I don't know. I think the only reason it's been working out because both myself and my wife have been evolving. Like my wife's like a gym lady now. Those ladies that are working out all the time, So she became that in her 40s too. She's my age. And our garage is a sick gym,
Oh, awesome.
like a crazy gym. And hey, when my friends come over, they're like, bro, sick gym. That's my wife's. Thank you, but that's my wife's. But so she evolved as a person, and we all evolve, So
Yeah.
thankfully, like, she's been evolving as I've been evolving, or just growing, changing, because we all change,
Yeah.
And if you stay in the same place, I think that's when people become bitter and mad and
Yeah.
be those Merkel.
Yeah. I think, dude, even if I'm not doing the podcast or if I'm not writing or putting on events or something, dude, there's something about it. Like when I took a break from doing the podcast late last year, I don't know. I wasn't myself. Like, and I was going into this weird, deep, self-loathing time and depression type of deal, and I don't know. Like when I wasn't doing something, when I wasn't using my brain for something, when I wasn't creating something, it brought me down so low.
You need that, man. You need that escape.
Yeah.
That escape, and there's so many layers of every person, like of you, and those are just the layers that you have to like vent out, show them off, because that's you, that's what, at least to your inner self.
Yeah.
That's how you shine. Even though like sometimes like in comedy we don't nail it, but you're still throwing your inner self out, and
Right.
at least that's the way I see it. It's the version of yourself that you have to put it out just to
Yeah.
just to make your inner child happy.
There we go. That's a good. That's a good concept and a good way to look at it. Because I've always thought, like, even when we're talking about that in the beginning of this, like growing up, I've always, I was just like you, man, like the class clown, trying to make people laugh. Whether like I say something funny, try to make fun of the teacher when they weren't looking, or just make funny faces, or pretend that I stepped in shit so I can get kicked out of the class. So, I've always wanted that type of like give me all eyes on me, look at me, look what I'm doing type of thing. And I don't know, it followed me until my adulthood. It's kind of scary.
And that's the best part, at least in my eyes. That's what makes you the individual. There's jocks, there's hyper mathematics people.
Yeah.
There's every version of everybody, but that's what makes you the individual, and
Yeah.
that's what makes it you, that's what makes it unique.
Yeah.
That's a part that I really grasp. I'm thankful for, because I cannot see life without doing this,
Yeah.
That's how much we need it now, Once you start doing this, like, man, you really need it. It's part of you now,
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I think I'm just like, we're so far in to where it's like, I can't stop now. Right?
Yes. My friends tell me I'm a goofball because I always tell them I'm slowing down the process because I'm a dad first,
Mm-hmm.
Because there's been times where like I line up too many little like bar shows in a 2-week span, and then I'm not home, and then and then I feel like I'm failing, because everything has to work or nothing works,
Yeah.
Like, I have to be the super dad with the sports and do comedy and work for me to feel like I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish, So I tell my friends, I'm kind of feel like borderline slowing down the system or self-sabotaging just to buy myself time. Because every time I'm like, go all in, I'm like, no, man, I can't. Like, part of this change in lifestyle that I'm doing is also for my kids to see me and for me to be there for them, for their sports and school and stuff,
When they say go all in, what do you mean?
To go sign up for every show I can, every open mic I can, and even leave, and leave to like start doing shows all over the place, like
Oh, really?
out of state and
Wow.
everything, like, and no, I'm not there yet. Again, like I'm part of my, if I'm failing as a dad, then the reward for stand-up comedy is not the same, I don't know if that makes any sense, like my whole little ecosystem has to all work together. If not, I feel like I'm failing,
Right. It's your rhythm of life.
Yes.
Right? So without that rhythm of life between balance, between family, comedy, and your work, comedy won't work. Or
Comedy won't work.
your family won't work if comedy's not working. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's how I'm interpreting it.
Yes. And for example, where I work at, like I have retirement coming within like a year and a half, two tops.
Okay.
And right now I'm staring at that like should I retire? And I don't know. So I'm stuck right now with that decision.
Your union retirement?
Yes.
Okay.
Union retirement.
Awesome.
It comes around early 50s. I'm gonna be 50 in like within 2 months. So and so that I'm staring at that.
I'll wear a suit to your birthday.
I'll have you roast me in a suit. I can't tell you how awful I felt, man. I felt like a jackass, bro. Oh my God, I felt like a jackass. I walked in there like, oh no. Oh my God, I can't. I felt so bad, man. And worse when I try to like take the attention away from it, and make a joke, and I crashed and burned. Oh, so I was even lower than after that,
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the fun stories of this of the this journey, man. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm staring at retirement, and that's something within the next 2 years I have to decide whether if I'm gonna retire and go even more into comedy. But see, comedy happens Monday through, at night, right?
Yeah.
And most of my kids' sports, like, they're night, Sundays, Saturdays, they might play in the morning, but like right now, my son has a soccer thing right now, Even though it's raining, since they canceled practice, they had to do something indoors, So,
Yeah.
So he's at practice. I had my wife take my son over there. So even if I retire, I don't feel I could still go all in into comedy, So that's because of that. It's gonna be a tough decision, man. Just to see.
Do you think once your kids get to a certain age, then you will? Is that where your cap is? Like
It's all in.
What age is it?
Well, I think when my daughter hits like second year of high school, because my son probably that would be either senior year or he'll be out of school.
Okay.
Especially the way she treats me right now, man. On time, one day I'm her hero, the next day get away, dad. I'm like, man, like what the hell? What did I do?
Yeah.
So if that kid's worse in high school, it's gonna be easy to detach. Check will be in the mail, baby. So that I think that's when I'll feel more free,
Yeah.
And again, Ronnie Dangerfield vibes on that one, right?
Yeah, right?
He waited to and so at least some of the small stories I read about him, like his daughters were old enough, like teenage or, young adults for him to really go out, like really, really go out, So that's where I'm aiming at. But, all I could do is grow, man. Grow as a comic, grow as a writer. Hey, man, you write a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's happened to you where I'm writing a bit and I get stuck and then it hits me. I know I wrote something that could fit in here, And then I go and I'm going through all these booklets. I know I have something, and I find it. So that's the upside of writing. Just writing every day, I mean, I write. I don't think I write every day, but I write a lot. And that's so far it's worked out for me. Where like I know I have a bit or a one liner I could squeeze in here just to help me out. And so far it has worked, man. So I mean, I'm not as organized as I should, right? I'm going through booklets all over the house.
So I have a similar thing to that. Is I most of like my jokes that I are just out of nowhere. Like I'm not even writing. I'm on my computer messing with spreadsheets.
Yes.
And then something would click in my head, and I'm like, that's funny. So me and Amber would be doing something. We'll be eating. We'll be driving because we spend 90% of our time, driving around, commuting to our 10 million things that we have to do during the week and on the weekend. And I will tell her something, and I will immediately forget it. And either one of us would keep on going along with it and forget to write it down.
Oh.
Or sometimes I will text her, right? Yeah. I will text her like a premise or maybe like one word or two words.
Yes.
And I would tell her, don't worry about it. Like it's for a joke. Just I need to put it down or write it. And I was at a club, wasn't I? Yeah. I was at a club with my friends that I don't go to clubs. And I was sitting in the corner, and I had a couple of drinks. I was smoking cigarettes in the corner. Just me and her were just texting back and forth, and we're just joking the whole time. She didn't go. She was at home in bed, and I was just in the corner drinking by myself. My friends were dancing. I'm sitting in the corner. She's laying in bed. I'm texting her, and we were just going back and forth. We're like, oh, we can move this one here and this here, but that happens to me. Or
that's cool in the zone, man.
In the zone, and that's what happens to me. Like I get something in my head, and I have to like sit down and lay it all out, but not necessarily like edit it right there. As long as it's somewhere, and then I can come back to it later. What happened to me a few nights ago? I've been having these weird. I don't know where you are on the dream meter, but I have these dreams where I go up on stage and I kill it.
Crazy.
And I kill it, and everybody's laughing, and I can only remember one word from each of those taglines. And I will wake up half asleep, and I forget to. I don't write it down because I only remember one word from it.
Oh man!
And it's dreadful. It kills me every time. Every time I think about it.
I got when I'm like you in that if I don't write something down about what I'm thinking about, I will never get it back again.
Yeah.
So even if I write one line about what I'm thinking about, I can go back and pretty much retrace everything. But if I don't write anything down, forget it. And as far as dreams, man, the only dream I keep getting is a lot of times right now, like if I go to a friend's show, they'll ask me, "Hey, you want to do 5 minutes?" And I have to go ready. If not, I'll panic like a mother, right? So in my dream, I go to a show. I'm asked to get on. Hey, man, get on and do some time. And I go, okay, let me line some stuff up. I have to line it up in my head, what I'm gonna say, or write like 3, 4, 5 words of what I want to, the setup I want to do. I got that from Martin Rizzo. Another thing, remember, I'm telling you, I always ask comedian stuff, and they tell me to write like your subjects in like one words. Just remember your subjects and not every word for word for your jokes. I got that from Martin Rizzo because I used to try to memorize everything word for word. Which is rookie mistake when I started.
Okay.
So in my dream borderline nightmare, I'm prepping to get on stage, and people keep coming out to me. Hey man, I saw you over here, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Excuse me, I gotta do something. And then I'm trying to line it up, and somebody else, hey, I saw you over here, or Frankie, when are we gonna golf? And I'm like, wait, I need time right now. Wait. So that's my nightmare slash dream that I'm trying to line up my jokes to get on stage, and people I know just keep jumping at me like, hey, how about this and how about that, and I'm trying to be apologetic, but borderline losing my mind. Like it's gonna go crazy right now. Like leave me alone, you know?
Yeah.
Like being the nice guy, but like not losing my mind. So that's I always wake up right there, like, you know, right before I go on, unprepared.
Dang, dude. Yeah, that's seems like a nightmare to me. So you golf, don't you?
I golf a lot, yes.
Yeah.
A
How
lot.
did you get into golfing?
From my coworkers,
Yeah.
yes.
I tried to get into it, just didn't happen.
Nothing at all.
No. I think I drank
There's
too much.
Golf club sitting in the kitchen right now.
Oh yeah, there is. Yes, yeah. I totally forgot that I had golf clubs in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Next time I have a few days available, I'm gonna invite you,
Okay.
because if you just have a casual beer and swing away, it's very relaxing. You know,
Okay.
like to me, it's relaxing. Like
A casual. The last time I golfed was a casual, like half case.
oh man, or even those fundraiser tournaments.
Yeah.
They have beer and drinks everywhere. So after a few holes, you're wasted, man.
Mm-hmm.
So those are fun, but if you overdrink, forget about it. You know,
Yeah.
you're not gonna learn anything or really. But yes, I golf a lot. This weekend I was out and I visited my mother in Arizona, and I got some golf done.
That's
over there.
right. You were out there.
In Gilbert, Arizona. That's where my mom resides. And I went over to visit her. One of my nephews in Godson, he had a baseball tournament. He's 13, like my son.
Yeah.
So I caught one of his games, and just drove around. I couldn't even make a spring training game. I was so busy, or World Baseball Classic, which is happening around the Phoenix area. All those cities are stuck together, like Alhambra, Monterey Park, East LA.
Okay.
That's how close all those cities are. Glendale. You within 5 minutes. It seems like of every city. But I was out there and I got to do some golfing, man. I golf a
Nice.
lot. That's another thing. I golf a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I take it as a reward,
Okay.
because even when I've been on vacation, I try to golf every day. By Wednesday, I'm like, it's not the same. It's not the same like as you squeeze in golf around your full schedule, and it's more rewarding for, again, I don't know the reason for that,
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's probably just like maybe just the action of golfing.
Yes.
So I seen that you posted about Whataburger. What did you think?
Whataburger is good because it reminds me of high school burgers,
Oh, okay.
Cafeteria burgers?
Yes,
On-
cafeteria burgers.
Oh, okay. So on a scale between 1 to 10, where's the Whataburger
I
at?
give them a 6.
What is it? What a burger or Whataburger?
Whataburger.
Do we say it wrong because we're from California?
I think we do. I'm sure we
I
butcher
think
it.
it's like what a burger.
like what a burger? like
Whataburger.
oh
I think. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm wrong. It sucked, so I don't care.
It sucks when you compare it to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Anybody from Texas, they'll tell you day and night is so much better than In-N-Out, but no way, man.
Fist fight. I will get in a fist fight with somebody over an In-N-Out burger versus what a burger.
We have brass knuckles for whoever wants
Oh,
to
man.
fight us. Just kidding.
Yeah, bring it on.
You guys are ready to throw hands.
She's my little watchdog. You get him first.
You throw me first.
But yeah, I don't. The easiest way I describe that burger is a Tommy's burger without, like a chili cheese Tommy's burger without the chili and cheese with lettuce. Because a Tommy
That's
burger,
fair.
because a Tommy burger doesn't come with lettuce, right?
No. With the bigger patty, but same thing, like oversized meaty burger,
Mhm.
but it's dry. Like no, when you bite into it, in an burger when you bite it, like it's juicy.
Yeah.
I'm all drooling on my fat right now. Hey, that's how I'm a fat guy. I'm like, when you bite it, I'm gonna spit on your mic here, bro. Oh man. So when you bite on an In-N-Out burger, like it just, oh man, I don't know, man.
I think it's
I'm
just.
having a moment.
You okay? You're good. Can we get a towel for him? Let's get a towel for him.
All right, drooling's off.
But who was it? Who said this, Amber? One of your friends, right? That said, well, because we tasted the cheeseburger and not the chicken sandwich or something like that. Was it?
Yeah, I think they said that their chicken sandwich was really good and their spicy ketchup, and we didn't get any of that.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that. It was just the burger.
Yes, and when this is the second time I get Whataburger in the Phoenix area, and people text me like, "Oh, you gotta try their breakfast." Like, come on, like, if a burger is not the greatest, you're just there because it's everybody talks about it, but you're not there for flavor. You're not going back. You go to a Mexican restaurant for tacos and they suck. You're not going back for a burrito,
Yeah.
or for their breakfast,
Yeah. Or their chile rellenos or
for their
something.
chile rellenos.
Yeah.
If you butcher the basics, bro, like, come on, man, you're already out.
Yeah, you're right.
They're just trying to justify that restaurant.
Find an angle, any angle.
That's funny.
They do give you oversized drinks, like oversized everything. I mean, maybe in my youth that would give it points.
At Whataburger?
Yes, like the drinks I got a medium and it was a giant cup.
Really? But that's everywhere now. Like now, I remember a small cup, like a small,
Yes.
like in the 90s, was like a kid's child size now, or like a children or a kid size now, right?
Like 10 ounces, and now a small is like 16 ounces.
But it's kind of funny too, because you remember McDonald's back then, how they had that tub of fries?
Oh man.
Can we look up a picture of tub of fries and then we can close out? I gotta see. I just want to.
You have to drool? No, this is your
Yeah,
turn.
this is my turn.
I lived out here in Pomona for a few years by the hospital, Pomona Valley Hospital.
Oh yeah, I know
Like
exactly where that's
north
at.
of it. I bought a house there for a few years, and our go-to place was Del Taco down the street because they will sell you a giant cup of fries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Oversized cup of fries.
Do they still do that?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
There we go. Wait, hold on. Where is it?
No, it like this one?
There it is. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was it that one?
Yeah, it was this one.
Whoa.
Or they used to do it in the large cup.
Was it a large? I remember it like
I like a handle, like a
cardboard.
bucket.
Yeah, they did have a bucket. They had a bucket, and then at some of them they did like the extra large cup. And I only knew this because of my cousins. My mom didn't take us to McDonald's.
She didn't allow you to have soda or anything fun, huh?
No, we didn't have anything fun.
Oh man.
What was it that I took you somewhere and you're like, this is the first time I've ever had this. This happens a lot in our relationship. I hope you know that.
That's so cool.
I don't know.
With food, like I've never like she said the other day that she doesn't eat that much, like about Mexican food.
Oh yeah,
Amber?
Yeah. I rarely eat like at a Mexican restaurant because for me Mexican food was in my house
Oh.
every day.
And to me, Mexican food was at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
For a long time, I love trailer park food, like scallop potatoes, Stover's topping,
Oh, okay.
all that mashed potatoes. They start at powder
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
because all the way up until like my mid-20s, all I did was eat at home, So
Yeah.
everything was made fresh at home. So when I would try that stuff in boxes, man, it was like the amazing best thing ever.
That's how I was. That's why McDonald's to us was like a treat. Because my mom was like, no, like we have food at home. I'm gonna cook, that type of thing. I don't think I've ever had like Chef Boyardee, Pop Tarts, things like that. Like we could afford them, but my mom was like, no.
So all the stuff that you didn't have, I had as a child. Yeah. McDonald's like every other day. Double cheeseburgers, Pop-Tarts for breakfast, donuts for breakfast.
That's super cool, man. You guys teaching each other stuff on a daily, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even shows, huh? There were some shows. we were, I don't want to say censored, but my mom was, like a stay-at-home mom, and she tried to do the best that she could. So Gill and I have a very different upbringing, and even just
Total
shows.
polar opposite.
Older.
Yeah.
But it works because, like you said, we teach each other new things all the time. There's places that he's never been that I've been, or vice versa, or things we eat, and it's always exciting and different. We're 4 years in the making, and we still learn something new almost every day.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And on the podcast all the time.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, what? Really?
My wife, like probably the second year in,
Mm-hmm.
she had crackers and cheese from a can that looked like a moose.
Cheese whiz.
It looked like moose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you eating? I've never seen that in my life, you know?
I fantasized of having cheese whiz.
Dude, I've never seen that, you know? And like my wife, she's more Americanized than I am, you know? She's like second or third generation, third maybe.
Okay.
So
Like
she,
this one, right?
that
Easy
one,
cheese,
Easy cheese?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I
Like,
always wanted it.
like, what are you eating there?
With crackers, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Some
Ritz.
saltines or
Ritz.
Ritz?
No, those Ritz.
Yeah.
Man.
Dang.
So many little things I never had until I was an adult. Meatloaf. I didn't try meatloaf till I was like 30, you know?
We
Really?
just talked about meatloaf.
Dang.
Javier too. He said the same thing.
I feel fancy around you guys. You have no idea. Like, I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm telling you, I grew up on a Mexican menu eating at home, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, but we had enchiladas, pozole, sopes. My mom would make something like that every day for breakfast, licuados or huevos con weenie or
Yeah.
chilaquiles. So.
You know what the cool thing about that is? A lot of these vegan things, I tell my friends, that's us on Friday before they went to the market, you know? Like potato tacos, you know?
That's what my mom says. Because my mom grew up really poor here, and she's like, we didn't eat meat. She said meat was like a luxury, and we ate
Delicacy.
it but she said all of our dishes were like potatoes or veggies or something that didn't contain meat. I was like, oh wow.
It was always, for us, like small amounts, like always cooked and chopped, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I go to a steakhouse, I freak out, like, what the hell? It's too much meat, you know? I need some tortillas and a knife. I need to make some tacos out of this, you know? I'm under pressure here.
So I'm overstimulated with the one single piece of meat.
Oh, hey, another thing I did when I was, my heaviest point was 365.
Whoa. Okay.
I did the Texas, the big
Pull up-
Texan challenge.
Pull up 360 pounds. No. You did what now?
You ever hear the big Texan, the 72-ounce steak in Amarillo, Texas?
Yeah.
Oh.
My two cousins and my brother, they're all pretty los pesados, you know?
Yeah.
We all took a road trip to Amarillo, Texas to take on that 72-ounce.
one?
Yes. And I'm the only one who knocked that out, man.
Really?
Wow. Did
And
they
then-
give you a time?
In an hour.
Wow.
Look, it's the size of a plate, like 72-ounce steak, plus a potato, a dinner roll, side salad, and the shrimp cocktail
And you have to finish it all
in an hour.
in an hour.
So, man.
Dang. Did they take a picture of you and everything?
Took a picture.
You're all framed in the.
They take a piece of the wall down and you sign it, and then they put it back up. Cause you know they have like those sheet things. I mean, it's pretty neat. And the one thing that's messed up, man, 4 fat guys full of beef. You guys really gassy on the way home, man.
Oh man! And you're the only one that.
I'm the only one who took it down. I have a T-shirt. Then your food is free. It's really cool.
What?
Is it this much?
Yes.
Whoa.
72
I don't know what
ounce
there's
thing.
on the right, but yes, it's a whole meal, and you have to kill it in an hour. Then it's free.
Wow.
But it's still there. 72-ounce steak challenge.
Did you enjoy it though, or was it more?
It was really good, really juicy, and then they give you like hot A1 sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So every piece I was cutting, I was dipping, and it was
Dang.
really good.
With a smile.
Oh man, it's so good.
I've always wanted to do a challenge like that.
You said the other day that you wanted to do like a what is it called?
The hot dog one.
Yeah, the hot
Oh.
dog one. That's
wanna
what
do
I
the-
would like to do.
I want to do the Nathan's hot
Nathan's?
dog one,
Nathan's.
or maybe with something with hot wings.
Do a hot wing. I say you have a better chance of hot wings because we in Hawaii they have I think it's called the Big Daddy Pancake Challenge.
Mhm.
It's too much bread.
Mm.
We didn't have a shot in hell, man.
There's a good breakfast spot in the name will come to me, but it's right there on Arrow and 4th. They got the biggest freaking pancakes in the IE, dude.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, I can't remember. Can we one more time and then we'll go.
yeah. I do my for my kids' birthdays, man. I make them giant like 12-inch pancakes.
Like Uncle Buck.
Like I got it from Uncle Buck. I got the idea from Uncle Buck
Yeah.
for their birthday. So every time when they get out of bed, you know, it's on the table with candles, you know, and I call it the Blanco Pancake Challenge, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
So the neat thing about that, you know how kids these days, all they want is like electronics, expensive stuff.
Yeah.
The week of the birthday, they're always like, I can't wait for my pancakes, you know, like, which is cool, you know, something other than money, you know, or personal crap, you know. Like, I don't believe in junk anymore, you know. I'm trying to like get rid of junk as I get older, man. I'm trying to like open up space in my house, you know.
It's Arrow and 4th Street.
Okay.
Arrow and 4th.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think where they connect.
Arrow and 4th. It's right there in it's like Arrow Route.
Have we been there?
No.
Oh.
No, I've taken John though. My son, he's 11 and he's a huge pancake fan. So for his birthday, I'll bring him to your house.
So does it look like a trucker place?
Yeah, it's small. It's only open a couple of hours.
Okay.
Once
There's a place in that area, general area. It might be there where I had biscuits and gravy. And again, like
sounds like it.
homemade biscuits, gravy, amazing. But it looked like a trucker stop without the oversized truckers, you know.
Do Arrow Route.
Pretty
and
cool, man.
4th.
I'm gonna look for it.
Arrow Route.
But though, as far as food challenges, man, I think the wings you have the best shot. You just gotta take the heat, you know, because most of them are spicy, you know.
Yeah.
Because anything with bread, bro, oh my god, bread hurts, you know. After a while, bread like
Is it black? No, it's not black. But it's something. We'll find it. Holy, we're getting close because it's Sammy's Cafe is pretty done. Anyways, I'll
find it, man.
I'll find it and shoot it over since you're since we're basically neighbors, dude. Most
right up the street, man. It's crazy.
Most of the people that like I invite over there, like over that way, they don't get the struggle of the IE.
Yeah.
They don't.
The one thing I miss about LA is like wake up at 2 a.m. I'm gonna go get some Chinese food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get a pizza.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some.
Nothing's open over here.
Nothing's open over here.
9.
Nothing. AM PM, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing out here, so that's the one thing I miss about LA life. You know? But other than that, it's cool. I love having parking in front of my house. You know.
Oh, see, look at that will outweigh anything.
Yes.
At least in my book, if you have parking in front of your house.
Oh man, if you see LA right now, if you see LA, if you see the way things are in LA, there's no parking anywhere. Our old block, you know, on Townsend. Alfred grew up on Townsend too, you know.
Oh wow.
Alfred Robles. The few times we've gone back to visit, there's nowhere to park. We have to park on the sidewalk, you know. And out here, there's parking everywhere, guys. So move out here.
Do you think that's where in the Chicano culture we had to start parking cars on our lawn?
Yes, because there's multiple generations living in the same house.
There we go.
That's why, you know, everybody has a car, you know. Son, grandson, you know.
There we go.
Great grandson. Hey, I try to make that joke too about at my age, I'm usually a great grandfather at another like house roast. Everybody looked like they were hating my guts, you know. I was making fun of religions about you know, Christians about, you know, the tithe, you know.
Yeah.
10%. I was like, forget that. I'd rather go to hell. How bad are the car prices now, you know? And then, my Catholics, because everybody's kind of quiet. You guys are no better, man. As a Catholic, I hated chipping in for a quinceañera. 8 months later, chipping in for a shotgun wedding, you know? And people laugh, and all of a sudden it got quiet, and I was getting stares, bro. Like, oh, okay, they're Catholic here. But, yeah, so those are those jokes, like, on the fly. I'm going to hit them with this. And then when they don't receive it that good, I'm like, oh, but at least you have their attention. But wow,
yeah,
like you could feel the stares like right back at you, man. You know? And then I'm glad I changed it up with I have a daughter now. That joke hits a little different now, you know.
Yeah.
You know, once you have a daughter, everything changes, you know.
Yeah.
I already bought a gun, you know.
Dang.
I still haven't been back to the store to get bullets, but you know.
I got the gun though.
I have the gun, you know. Step 1 is done, you know. Oh man. I don't believe in gun ownership, man, so it was tough, you know.
Frank Blanco.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming on, dude.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, bud. So what do we got coming up for you?
Well, I'm gonna be at your open mic.
Yeah.
Come on out and check us out, man. And I'm gonna be at I think it's All Point Brewing on April 22nd. It's a Saturday in Riverside. You know, I'll post the link up and under Blanquillos at Instagram. If you can't spell Blanquillos, then hit up your Spanish friends. You know.
There we go.
That's all I got for right now, man.
Okay.
But, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
You got it, man. Anytime. And then all the links to Frank's stuff will be down in the show notes. And don't forget, we got the art show at Horchateria that the Mind Buzz will be hosting in Paramount on the 23rd.
On Friday, March
The 24th. And then before that, we have the open mic that Frank is going to be at, and that's on Thursday, March 23rd. Starts at 7. We got music, we got poetry, and then, of course, we got comedy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Can't wait,
Yeah.
man.
That's what we got going on. Anything else?
No, that's our week next week.
That's it, right?
Yeah,
We got
out
some-
and support.
Oh, and then we got the Heavy Hitters
yeah.
live podcast show April 29th. Ramos and those guys said that the tickets, we got low inventory at the moment, so buy them before they get sold out.
My dude Chinook and I were planning on being there, man. So I think I'm gonna have to buy the tickets as soon as I leave here. Make
Do
sure
it.
you guys don't sell out before we get them.
The link will be down in the show description. So thanks, guys, for listening. Peace.
Sweet.
The Mind Buzz Podcast.
Peace and love. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.